Well,
This is the annual and a special meeting of the members of the Philipstown Depot Theater Development Corporation. The members are like the stockholders of this kind of a not-for-profit corporation. And the annual meeting is for the election of directors. The special meeting is for two other items which really cannot be done at an annual meeting, so we combined them. It's artificially one meeting, or two meetings artificially in one meeting. And the first item is the election or re-election of 5 members of the Board of Directors. That's myself, Michael Aracco, Claudio Marzolo, Christopher Novak, and Catherine Plummer, which requires a resolution which is on my sheet here. Resolved that the following persons are elected directors of the corporation, each to serve for a term of 3 years. Robert C. Bickford, Michael Aracco, Claudio Marzolo, Christopher Novak, and Catherine Plummer. I guess will somebody on the board move that and have debate and second it?
I'll second.
And you will need to vote on
all in
it.
favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous.
The 2 items in the special meeting, one is to increase the permissible size of the board, which is now 15. And it works very, very well, but there are people that we think could help in various ways, including fundraising and other matters that maybe another performer that will complement or add to the expertise that's already on the board. And we picked increasing it to 19 so that we'd try to keep it at an uneven number, just because that's easier to deal with than an even number. So we are suggesting that the board allow us to amend the bylaws, or that the board amend the bylaws to fix the maximum number at 19 rather than 15. And that requires a resolution. Resolved that the first sentence of section 3.2 of the bylaws is amended to read as follows. The board of directors shall consist of such number of directors, not fewer than 11, nor more than 19, as may be fixed from time to time by resolution of the board of directors, divided into 3 classes, each of which shall consist as nearly as practicable of 1/3 of the total number of directors. And if somebody would move that, and we could,
I'll second.
any discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous.
The final item is to authorize the transfer of the assets to the new corporation. As you recall, we created a new corporation, the whole point of which is to eventually get out from under this burden of state overregulation. But that corporation has to get a 501c3 status, which requires going to the IRS. We've applied a long time ago, but we haven't gotten it yet. It also has to go through the State Attorney General's office, which we've put into motion, but it hasn't come to pass yet. But in order to simplify the books of the corporation, we would like to transfer all of the assets as of January 1st to the new corporation, on the understanding that if anything goes wrong with our plan, they'd go back again. But the point is that if all the assets are nominally in the new corporation at the time of the merger, everything will be washed out and it'll all be right. And you've authorized the merger before, so this is just a procedural. Hopefully, it'll simplify the audit and therefore save some money. So that's the point of that. And that requires a resolution with only one L. I see my resolution here has 2 L's in it. Resolved that the sale and transfer of the corporation of all of its assets to its Philipstown Depot Theater, Inc., in exchange for PDT, Inc.'s assumption of all the corporation's liabilities, effective as of January 1, 2014, is approved, ratified, and confirmed. And that requires a motion and a second, and it's a discussion and a vote.
Could I get a motion?
Make the motion.
Second.
Second.
Anybody want to discuss this? I think we can trust the group. I think we can trust you, Robert.
We already decided that we wanted to do this.
Yeah, that was last year, exactly.
Couple
At the
months
last
ago.
meeting. So, all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Any opposed?
Okay, and then, so the motion to adjourn, I guess.
Before
is-
we adjourn, can I just say thanks, Bob, for all of your legal work and all you contribute to the Depot Theater, and thank all of the members of the board. It's a town treasure. one that's
Yeah, it is.
brought lots of fun to the community, and I just can't thank the board members enough, because I was on it for a long time, and I know how
I
much
know we
work it
miss you
is.
very much.
I miss you too. Can you appoint me?
Let's do it tonight.
Did you see To Kill a Mockingbird?
It just increased the number.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you, and thank the board members.
Okay, I will do
Thanks,
that.
Bob.
Right.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous, we're adjourned. Okay, let's go home.
Yes, that was an easy one. You okay to read to me?
Yeah.
Let me know if you need a break. I smell matches from lighting the fire.
So we're ready to go legally. All right, this is the annual reorganization meeting for the town of Philipstown, something we are mandated to do by the state every year. A lot of it is, most of it is procedural and pretty rote. There are some appointments you'll see through the evening and designations, things like that. For starters, we have the salaries for, that's what's on top of mine.
Oh, I think Susan wanted to just leave you a note.
Oh, she wanted to leave me know, oh, okay. Okay,
We have to do the pledge?
Not yet.
Until the regular
Regular
meeting.
meeting?
okay, well, it won't be the salaries. First item on the agenda will be a resolution needed naming M&T Bank of Cold Spring as a designated bank in which all town officers shall deposit monies for the town of Philipstown. That means everybody's got to deposit their salary in the bank too.
To the Philipstown.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Resolved, M&T Bank of Cold Spring is designated the bank in which town officers shall deposit monies for the town of Philipstown. Resolution needed authorizing the town supervisor to deposit town funds in one or more NOW accounts, money market accounts, and/or certificates of deposit, providing that deposits allow monies to be available or come timely to permit the town to meet its financial obligations. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, resolution needed naming town officers who shall be compensated for the use of their automobiles and the performance of official duties at a rate of 36 cents per mile. That won't get you far.
Discussion?
Sure, if you want.
Can we add the clerks to that as well? They don't have an office, they're doing a lot of running around. The planning board clerk and the zoning board clerks, could they be reimbursed for their mileage of running to town hall and getting packets, distributing packets, putting
If
packets?
somebody wants to, yeah, I don't have an issue with that. Does anyone have an issue with that? They want to submit vouchers for
Mileage?
4 miles. I'm going to start charging. I drive the farthest from East Mountain.
Me too.
I don't know that a board member has, that's just one thing I do like to point out, I don't know that a board member has ever submitted a voucher for gas mileage. So,
Not even to Virginia.
yeah, and back and forth
I
to
didn't drive,
Cornwall, Albany, right. So with the addition of the planning board clerk and the zoning board clerk, you're saying?
Well, it's the CAC is the same clerk.
CB clerk.
CB, sorry.
Okay,
CB.
so we'll add CB clerk,
Planning, so.
planning,
And zoning.
ZBA clerk. With that addition, can I get a motion on the resolution authorizing the compensation for mileage?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Number 4, resolution needed scheduling the town board monthly meeting be held at 7:30 PM at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, on the first Thursday of each month, except when the same falls upon a legal holiday or due to extenuating circumstances in which the regular monthly meeting shall be held upon the following Thursday or such day as shall be determined by the town board at a regular meeting preceding such legal holiday. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, resolution needed declaring that items for regular town board agenda must be submitted no later than the Friday preceding the first Thursday of the month. This is one we really stick to, too.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, resolution authorizing the town board to hold monthly meetings at various locations in town. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
I already seconded this one.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, resolution needed that the town board may meet every Wednesday, they usually do, evening at the 7:30 PM at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, to discuss and act upon such business as may come before the town board. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, resolution needed designating, actually, we're going to table this. A discussion from the board?
Nope.
Any discussion? Anything?
Nope.
If you want to comment?
I do. I think that we still, ultimately, we need to get the information out, and it is the most read paper in town. So, and I think a lot of the old timers rely on it.
Right.
But the way I'm understanding is that we're just not naming a paper, but we will still be using the PCNR for notifications.
This is correct.
That's-
We are compelled to use the Putnam County News as the paper that we will advertise things of record in, the official advertisements that we need to make, or legal requirements that we need to make.
So we're not obligated to appoint an official paper. We're obligated to publish legal notices
Right.
in the paper that has the required distribution
Right.
by law.
Right. And as such, that's what we'll be doing, but we will be not be designating a paper. Motion to table item 8.
So moved.
Pardon me?
Yes, something, you're going to have notices going in very soon from
Right.
planning, zoning, and
Right.
so is a decision going to be made at all tonight?
I think we can even clarify that somewhat with this. We're not choosing not to advertise. We're choosing not to appoint an official paper. So the status of submitting legal notices is still the same. And in addition to submitting legal notices to the PCNR, I recommend, in the effort to get as much information out to the public as possible, we duplicate that notice to philipstown.info. So the information is getting to as many media outlets as possible. Nobody's an official paper. We are required to pay for legal notices to the PCNR. We are required to put legal notices in the PCNR as per New York State law. We're not required to appoint a paper. Correct?
That is correct, and speaking with the attorney. Also, we're going to find out what we are legally required to advertise, because we may be advertising many things, and we want to get information out, obviously, but as far as paid advertisements, things that we are bound to legally advertise. So if there are ways of doing it at no cost, that's the way we would do it.
I would agree with what you said. Get as much information out in as many different venues as possible.
Absolutely.
And at some point, when the website is, refurbished and we have better use of our municipal channel, I think the same could be said in a policy for publishing all of the legal notices to those sites too. It's
Yeah,
just,
right now you could.
No, it's too hard.
It's not possible
yeah,
for the
no, and I
channel.
understand that. But I think as our efforts to get the information out to as many media publications that are available locally as possible, this is a start to just.
Right, spreading it around.
So, with that, would you want to discuss a policy, or do you want to wait for the regular meeting?
We'll wait for the regular
Okay.
meeting and table it for now and then discuss it during the meeting.
Okay,
All right, can I get a motion to table number 8?
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote
Aye.
aye. Unanimous. Number 9, resolution appointing O'Connor Davies LLC as the town auditors at an amount not to exceed the budget.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Number 10, resolution needed naming Supervisor Shea to act as budget officer for the town of Philipstown at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? I don't even know if I can vote on that since it's me. Probably can't. Item 11, resolution appointing Susan Kenny as the assistant budget officer at a salary not to exceed the budget.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Our thanks to Sue. Without Sue, we would be in dire trouble. Item 12, resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Susan Ketty as comptroller at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Item 13, resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Dorothy Turner as confidential secretary to the supervisor at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget. Motion on the resolution.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. My thanks to Dottie. She does so much for me and for everyone. So we really do appreciate your work, Dottie. Item 14, resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to appoint Maureen Etta as safety coordinator at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget. Another extremely hardworking person that we're fortunate to have.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Thanks, Maureen, for taking on that extra duty. It's a lot for very little. Resolution, item 15, resolution needed setting petty cash funds. Town clerk, tax collector, not to exceed $450 at a time. Superintendent of Highway, not to exceed $100 at a time. Board of Assessors, not to exceed $65 at a time. Recreation Department, not to exceed $100 at a time. Code Administration, not to exceed $50 at a time. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 16, resolution appointing Supervisor Shea as a voting delegate to the Annual Association of Towns meetings and naming Town Clerk Miranda as an alternate delegate in the event Supervisor Shea is unable to attend. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 17, resolution appointing Tina M. Miranda, Town Clerk, sitting to my left, as a registrar of vital statistics for the Town of Philipstown, and that her compensation is the fee allowed by law. Motion on the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Tina. Item 18, resolution appointing Kevin Donahue as the Code Administrator, Zoning Administrator, Local Flood Planning Administrator, and Fire Marshal at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget. Motion on the resolution. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I vote aye, unanimous. Item 19, resolution appointing Robert Emmerich as Deputy Code Administrator at a salary not to exceed that amount set forth in the budget.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our thanks to Bob. I'd like to have his jeans. He's amazing. Not the ones he's wearing.
That one's
right?
dogs. I like his dogs.
Item 20, resolution appointing Mary Ann Landolfi as clerk to the Code Administrator at a salary not to exceed that amount set forth in the budget.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our thanks to Mary Ann, another person who must have tremendous genes, just goes and goes. Item 21, resolution appointing Susan DiStefano as clerk to the assessor at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the budget.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 22, resolution appointing Frankie Weezy as Deputy Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution appointing Maureen Etta as clerk supporting the Highway Department at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 24, resolution appointing Susan Downey as clerk to the Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the budget.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Susan Downey, another really hardworking person that we really appreciate, and always very pleasant. Whenever you call there, it doesn't matter what's going on. It's very nice. So we appreciate you, Susan. Thank you. Item 25, resolution appointing Rosemary Bernasconi as clerk to the town justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the budget.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Another great employee. These guys, it's amazing the good people we have. Item 26, resolution appointing Annette Flaherty as clerk to the town justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2014 budget.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Sip of water time.
Break.
Item 27, resolution appointing Donald McDonald as town historian.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Who else could be town historian? Come on. Let's get real here. Item 28, resolution appointing James Loeb, Adam Rod, Stephen Gaba of Drake Globe, Heller, Kennedy, Fogarty, Gaba, and Rod PLLC as counsel to the Town of Philipstown to serve at the pleasure of the Town Board, to advise the Town Board, Planning Board, Zoning Board, and handle special land use issues. Said attorney to be compensated at a rate of $175 per month to represent the Town Board, $1,200 per month to represent the Zoning Board of Appeals, $600 per month to represent the Planning Board for general services, advice, and attendance at meetings, and at the rate of $185 per hour for the time to be charged to the applicant's matters. Get a motion on the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Okay. I think we were happy with the service we got this year.
Very.
I think we got good counsel from them. Item 29, resolution appointing Robert Cinque as counsel to handle various litigation matters, including tax certiorari litigation, and shall be compensated at a rate of $125 plus out-of-pocket expenses. Bob's been doing this for us for a long time, mostly in the tax certiorari, but we do other things with them also. Could I get a motion? Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 30, resolution appointing Robert Cinque as counsel to the town attorney to handle code prosecutions and advise code administrator officer at a rate not to exceed that set forth in the 2014 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 31, resolution appointing Carl D'Ambrosio as property records management.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. When's the last time we saw Carl?
Oh, no, he's been,
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long
he
time.
comes in every
Well,
couple
I know he
months,
comes in
yeah.
with things, but usually I catch him once in a while. Well, our thanks to him. He's been, how many years has he been doing
I
this?
was going to ask. How long has it been?
Item 32, resolution appointing Tina Emerando and Joan Klaus as marriage officers. Get a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Joan. Item 33, Supervisor Shea to appoint Nancy Montgomery as Deputy Supervisor. Nancy, if you will agree to serve as Deputy Supervisor, I would love to have you.
I do.
Well, I do. Joan, can you witness that? All right, as it is my appointment, I appoint Nancy Montgomery as Deputy Supervisor and thank her for her service. Thank you. Item 34, Town,
I do this.
oh, sorry.
We always do that.
Yeah.
I'm jumping on it.
I, Tina Miranda, hereby appoint Joan Klaus as Deputy Town Clerk, Deputy Tax Collector, Deputy Registrar, at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2014 budget. And I also, Town Clerk Miranda, hereby appoints Teresa Crawley as Deputy Town Clerk, Deputy Tax Collector, and Sub-Registrar at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2014 budget. And I am very fortunate to have both of them.
We all are.
Very
all
pleasant
are.
staff, helped me a lot, I know that. And Joan keeps my signatures on the line. All right, thank you. Item 36, resolution appointing Eric Lind interim,
We have to move on that.
no, we don't, it's an appointment for the.
Oh, okay.
Item 36, resolution appointing Eric Lind interim chair of the Conservation Board. He gets appointed like this because he's not here, but we really appreciate Eric serving as chairman of the Conservation Board. He's a wealth of knowledge and a really valued asset for the town and the CBA, you know.
Very dedicated individual.
Right.
Knows his- As you said, knows his stuff.
He does. So if I could get a motion on the resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 37, resolution authorizing compensation for the Garrison School crossing guard at a budget allocation not to exceed that set forth in 2014 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 38, resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Water District. Ralph Bassignani as superintendent, Diane Barton as water tax collector, Ed Barticciato, assistant water treatment plant operator, Ken Gonzalez, Steve Leclerc, Steve Houghton, also as assistant water treatment plant operators. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 39, resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Water District Advisory Committee. Mike Phelan, the sole Survivor.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Mike Fallon wears a lot of hats and does a lot for Continental Village, and I hope people appreciate it, because when he and Justine decide to step down, there's going to be a big void there, as obvious, because there are 3 vacant positions in that advisory committee and have been perennially for years now. So we really could use somebody to step up. Item 40, resolution appointing Michael Phelan as superintendent of the Continental Village Park District.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? No. Again, Mike Phelan has been the superintendent of the CV Park District for I don't know how many years, but does a tremendous amount of work down there, and without him, the park would not be run. So we really appreciate your work, Mike. Thank you. Item 41, resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Park District Advisory Council: Frederick Romer, Ken Gonzalez, who we haven't seen in a while, Tony Galfano, and there are 3 vacancies also on this District Advisory Committee. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Item 42, resolution setting the recreation pay scale. So now I'm getting to the pay scale. See, I wasn't that far off. I was only 42 items off.
Had it changed?
No, these have not gone anywhere. Resolution setting the recreation pay scale for 2014 as follows. Sports directors and managers for the season, $800 to $1,800. Youth assistants, $7.50 to $15 per hour. Adult referees and umpires, $15 to $30 per hour. Youth referees and umpires, $7.50 to $15 per hour. Scorer timer, $7.50 to $15 per hour. Equipment handlers, $7. Well, you take a real cut if you're an equipment handler. $7 to $12 per hour. Preschool and after-school directors, $12 to $30 per hour. Assistants, $8 to $20 per hour. And custodial at $7 to $12 an hour. Directors and instructors, camp clinics and theaters, $10 to $30 per hour. Certified teachers, $10 to $30 per hour. Youth assistants, $7 to $15 per hour. Specialists, $20 to $65 per hour. Park facilities maintenance, $7 to $15 per hour. Could I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. One thing I would say is this is a real source of employment for the community for a lot. It gives a lot of kids summer jobs and provides a lot of activity for people. I mean, they're down there working with the kids and, making some money over the summer. So we appreciate everybody who steps up for that, but it is one of the things the town does that has an impact over the summer. I would say it's a great program. Yes? Susan's note.
The
Oh,
one
right
that
here.
was
What is this thing? I don't know. Okay.
Did minimum wage go up? No,
No.
not yet.
She's not sure. New rates for 2014. She's got new rates for 2014 and then has all this crossed out. But she doesn't have new rates on here. No.
We could change it if it's not right next month, no?
Well, let me see if did I bury something somewhere? Or, I don't think so.
I don't remember any discussion. Usually Amber calls. Oh, this is the clerk's.
We're gonna have to table it. Just gonna get
That's not even the notes for this anyway. For the seasonal employers, that's for the,
stenographers.
yeah.
Right.
We voted on the seasonal, didn't we?
Motion to table item 43, resolution for the hourly rate for part-time stenographers and part-time clerks.
Okay, make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? So we'll have to get on that. Item 44, resolution appointing, let me get well, I know who it is. Appointing Dave Morandi, appointing Andy Moranti as chairman of the, little slip there.
You got another job.
Andy Moranti as chairman of the planning board. Thanks to Andy for stepping back in. Andy's got years of experience. We really value that institutional experience, and it's tough to lose that, but
He's an extremely dedicated individual. As you said, he has a lot of experience. He helped me out tremendously to get involved in it. There's a lot to do with it, and he's really there for you, and he does a great job. What a dedicated person. So I highly recommend it.
thank you, Andy. Could I get a motion on the resolution appointing Andy Moranti as chairman of the planning board?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Thanks again, Andy. Andy, you can print that now. Item 45, resolution appointing Robert D. as chairman of the zoning board of appeals.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Our thanks to Bob D. It's another tough job. I mean, they had a,
Bob stepped in a rough situation and really handled it very well, I would like to say.
he did, he's unflappable, so I like that, and he's thoughtful. So, thanks to Bob. Did we get a vote on that? Okay, moving right along. All right, item 46, Supervisor Shea, that'd be me, appoints the following council members as liaisons to the following committees, to the following. Highway Committee, it's John Van Tassel. Planning Board, this is going to be Dave Morandi. That was a mistake on my part. Land and Building, John Van Tassel and Richard Shea. Zoning Board, John Van Tassel. Conservation Board, Michael Leonard. You good with that, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great group. Yep.
Signs and Streets of the Village of Cold Spring, David Morandi. Village of Nelsonville, Richard Shea. CVPOA, Michael Leonard. Haldane School, John Van Tassel. Garrison School, Dave Morandi. Fire Companies, Garrison, Richard Shea. North Highlands, John Van Tassel. Finance Committee, Richard Shea, Philip Kotnak, Nat Prentice, Elizabeth Anderson, Donna Padala.
Recreation could take me off.
Right, Recreation, Nancy, would you
I can
go back in?
I can co-liaison with you, and we could go together, or if you can't make it, I'd be happy to.
Right, so in Recreation, we'll have Nancy Montgomery and John Van Tassel.
Yay.
Butterfield Library, Nancy Montgomery. Information Officer, Nancy Montgomery.
I think during the year last year, I'd asked to change that title, Information Officer. I mean, that would indicate that I had another employee title. It's more of a liaison to information, as we were discussing just now, you know, sort of information liaison to
Okay, we'll,
make sure.
I'll make the appointment with the change, Information Officer being changed to Information Liaison, Nancy Montgomery. Those are my appointments. Item 47, and thanks to everybody for all your service during the year, attending all the meetings and bringing back those compelling reports.
Yes. Especially John.
The one thing I will say with Mike, that we're going to hope, since you've served on planning and the CB, that you'll make sure that things don't get dropped. You know, in the past, we've had, you know, say the planning board or the conservation board is weighing in on something the planning board has before them, and then sometimes it won't get to them and things like that. I just want to make sure that, you know, I know you will, but just to make sure that information, that flow of information keeps going between planning and conservation.
Yeah, I'd like to actually, maybe possibly this year, that planning and conservation could even meet together. Cortland, some other towns actually have done that and found some, you know, then you get to meet the people on the other side. It's not just somebody by letter. You get to sit down and, because there's a lot of, as you say, there's a lot of common areas. And, yeah, definitely, I would definitely look to try to have that happen and
All right.
coordinate. Yep.
If you want to spearhead that, please do. Thanks, Mike. Item 47, resolution approving the 2014 holiday schedule. New Year's Day, Wednesday, 1/1/2014. Martin Luther King Day, Monday, 1/20/2014. President's Day, Monday, 2/17/2014. Good Friday, 4/18/2014. Memorial Day, Monday, 5/26/2014. Independence Day, Friday, 7/4/2014. Labor Day, Monday, 9/1/2014. Columbus Day, Monday, 10/13/2014. Election Day, Tuesday, 11/4/2014. Veterans Day, Tuesday, 11/11/2014. Thanksgiving, Thursday and Friday, 11/27/2014 and 11/28/2014, with an asterisk there. Day taken after Thanksgiving must be charged to comp or vacation time. Christmas, Thursday, 12/25/2014 and 12/26/14, with the same proviso there. Day taken after Christmas must be charged to comp or vacation time. Could I get a motion on the holiday schedule?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That's it?
Wow. How was it?
That was easy. So,
No.
if there's no other comment, could I get a motion to close the reorg meeting?
Make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Reorg meeting is closed. The only thing, obviously, we'll be revisiting will be the stenographers' pay.
What time is it?
7:40, so we're
Oh,
good to go. If you'll join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Starting a new era here. Every person that was on the board that I was elected to is gone now.
Oh.
Kind of sad. But we have great replacements, and we would like to welcome Mike Leonard to the board for his first meeting. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
No speeches.
Yeah, no
No
speeches.
speeches today. We'll make John get the hook. Review of the minutes. Public hearing of November 6, 2013, Continental Village Park and Water Budget.
I was not there.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Public hearing of November 6, 2013, General Budget.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Weekly Town Board meeting of November 13, 2013. Anybody?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing of November 20th, 2013, 6-month moratorium.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Weekly Town Board meeting, November 20th, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Bid opening, November 27th, 2013, highway materials.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any opposed? Oh. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Monthly Town Board meeting, December 12th, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Okay. Committee reports. Conservation Board.
Conservation Board did not meet in December.
They were going to do an actual site visit at the old Cybercom to take a look at the proposed 8,700 square feet. The snow unfortunately kept that from happening. They will be meeting on the 14th to discuss that issue before them and be able to provide their comments, hopefully, if there's enough snow.
Use
It
the
clears.
snow as an excuse now.
That's it.
Can't see that
It's not
wetland.
working.
They went
Is there
ice
no
skating.
end to the
It's not a
excuses?
wetland, it's a frozen land.
Yes, yes.
Bring your skates.
Skating land.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Recreation.
Recreation did not meet in the month of December either. They will be meeting on Tuesday, January 25th at the rec center at 7:30.
Didn't meet
They didn't.
with snow?
Snow. No, the last Tuesday was Christmas Eve, so they decided not to meet on Christmas Eve.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's going to be, there's just like an endless amount of excuses if we're not meeting. Recycling.
Oh,
Mhm.
really? Just because I'm in the seat?
Well, we forgot.
Did we appoint
We
someone
didn't
to
appoint
do
anybody
that?
to do
We better-
recycling. I mean,
I would be happy to take that on. Did we
Well,
recycle
then-
anything this year?
we recycle a lot of stuff.
Actually, we
We
just
do
got about
tons
the...
and tons.
The new vendor.
Electronic vendor.
recycling, right. But I mean, we recycle a lot of plastics and metal and paper, tons. So, but if you would take that on, then I would appoint you recycling czar.
officer?
No, liaison,
Liaison.
or whatever. No, I'd be happy to, and I would be happy to meet with Betty, hopefully soon, to get some tips on
Right.
how to do that.
All right, great. Recycling center is open on Saturdays from 9 to 3, right?
Do I have to be there?
No, you don't, but you can go out and hang out with Ryan and
Where works
bring him
your-
coffee. Planning board.
It's a little breezy, we didn't have a meeting either.
This is unreal. Zoning.
Did not meet in the month of December. However, they will be meeting on Monday night, 1/13/14 at 7:30 PM.
Okay. Highway. John, you're going to be doing highway, so.
I didn't get, did we get a report?
Indian Brook Road is reopened, I know that, right?
Oh, it is?
I think so, right?
We did meet yesterday down at the Manitou Station Road.
Right.
Had a good meeting with the county, state DEC, Richard, who else was there? There was another
Lori
representative.
Taylor, there was a ton
Oh,
of people
good.
there.
Right. So the plan is to proceed, they're doing borings this week and results next week.
Yes.
To how the road should be redesigned or rebuilt. Once we get the borings, we can apply for more grant funding, once there's a plan in place by the town engineer. So it's an ongoing
It's
process.
pretty interesting, too, that they suspect that there's an old plank road under there still, that's still
Wooden
there.
plank road.
So they bore it,
Well,
they'll
they'll know when they
they'll
bore
find
it.
out. But the road has sunk more than a foot,
Right.
so that's probably one of the problems, and there's drainage issues. But, yeah, that would be good to get that resolved this year, no doubt. Building and land acquisition. Dave, I know you were looking at the freeze up at the Dahlia House.
Yeah, that's all, everything's cut off. There was a freeze up in the Dahlia house, pipes burst, so we've turned the heat off, the electric off, and cut off the main water supply, and Roy Canterbury's going to give us an estimate for our insurance company, hopefully, to cover that.
Dave and I will also be meeting with Ron Gaynor here tomorrow at 11 to discuss the proposed changes to this building and the Dahlia House. So,
All right. And one of those proposed changes is the possibility of an elevator.
correct.
Something we really need to move on. All right. Putnam County, I do not see our legislative
She called me
representatives
just
this
before
evening.
I came, and she's ill tonight.
Uh-oh. Well, our best to Barbara.
I-
Barbara was here yesterday.
Being out in the cold yesterday.
Yeah, maybe.
I've been corresponding with the Putnam County Bureau of Emergency Services a little bit about, just adding some support over here. And I emailed them today about having an EMT class in Philipstown. It's something that the first responders have requested. If we can get enough people to take the class, sometimes Putnam County will offer it over here instead of having our folks drive all the way over to Carmel to do it. I'm not sure if they can do it. I know there's an email in my box that I just glanced at before I came from Bob Cuomo, who runs the program. So, if not this winter, then hopefully sometime soon we'll be offering EMT classes right in Philipstown.
Wow,
It helps with recruitment.
absolutely.
Lots of EMTs need to get recertified so they can take some of the classes needed, not the whole program. So I'm hoping,
Right,
and we
a fewer
could just-
stumbling blocks to our
yeah,
getting that.
It's a long class. It's probably close to 200 hours.
yeah.
I'm not sure, but I bet you it's close.
It was 140 when I did it. It's probably 160 now, maybe,
Still,
maybe more.
Every year they
60
add more
hours a
curriculum.
month. It's a month.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of traveling back and forth to the county, so if it could be here, it'll save them a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, first item is a resolution adopting the 2014 fee schedule. There's no changes in the amounts, the fees, or anything. What Kevin did was he cleaned up the typos, and there's no major changes.
All right, and also, if the board wants to re-review this at any time, if anybody has any changes, we can always change the fee schedule, so we're not, we are adopting the current fee schedule, just again, in a cleaned-up form. So if I get a motion on the resolution adopting the 2014 fee schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, the next item is a resolution authorizing the release of escrow funds for Old Nick Spanu application. And we have a letter here from the chairman of the then chairman of the planning board, Michael Leonard, and he is approving that release of escrow.
Mike, you sticking by this?
Yeah.
Okay. Could I hear a motion on the resolution authorizing the release of escrow funds for Olin Expano?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous.
And the next one is a resolution authorizing the release of escrow funds for William and Susan Wood, and this is nunc-pro-tunc as per your office.
Right, and we had an approval for this from the planning board, so. Could I get a motion authorizing release of escrow funds for William and Susan Wood?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous.
The next is a resolution approving increased hours for deputy sheriff's presence during vehicle and traffic calendars.
This was an action we took after meeting with one of the town justices, Stephen Tolman, who said that at one evening in court, he didn't have an officer here, and I think he had 60 people in the room, and that can be disruptive. One of the main complaints is that people aren't respectful. They don't turn off their cell phones, and they're pretty disruptive. So we went ahead and moved on that. Before the close of the year, we had the additional officer here for that, and he said things were much, much better,
They're
so.
more cooperative when there's a sheriff standing.
Darn, there's a person with a gun standing up there in a badge. People
Especially
tend
when
to,
you know it.
they tend to relax and cooperate. So if I get a motion on the resolution approving increased hours for deputy sheriff's presence during vehicle and traffic calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
Could we request maybe some support from the county, or have we done that for that service? And I know it's our court.
Yeah, we
Just-
had a conversation. Everybody does basically the same thing, and you have options. You could farm it out to somebody, but
Private.
to
It
do a
just seems to be
private.
a
I think the thing is for them to be committed to this room, no matter what goes on outside, this guy is not going to leave here. We have to
Right.
pay his salary.
Right, but I just have observed that there seems to be a lot more support in other parts of the county for security, particularly recently adopted in schools, school safety officers, and I think a lot of that is coming from the county budget.
Well, if you want to look into it, by all means, if it's, if that bears out that we're paying for something somebody else is getting for free, I'm
Well,
all.
I don't know that they're getting this for free, but it just certainly other things.
Well,
But
if you want to,
Okay.
if it's not an apples
call the
and
sheriff
apples
and
thing.
see if we can work something out.
Sure. I mean, the one thing I will say with the sheriff, when we ask for something, we
Yeah.
generally get it, right away, so.
Not necessarily money, though.
You're not getting any money. Right.
At the meeting with the sales tax, Don Smith was there, and that was one of his comments, that there were things that could be shared. So I think you could hold his feet to the fire on that one, maybe.
All right.
Want to help?
No. No, whatever you need. But that was one of his comments,
it
so.
just seems like.
All right. All right, if you want to look into
Sure.
it, by all means.
Can I
But,
interrupt the adoption of that?
yeah, if I get a motion on the resolution, the increased hours.
No, you didn't.
We did.
Did we do it?
Second.
Do we, so we
We
carry.
didn't say all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? There we got it.
Next item is a resolution retaining Mr. Falcon of the firm Stenger, Diamond et al. Of Fishkill and his alternate, James Horan, as prosecutors for the Justice Court.
What if he comes with that? This was a request from Justice Tolman to change his prosecutor because his prosecutor, I guess, was having problems with the schedule. So we have prosecutors for both justices. He just wants to have someone he can rely on to be there. So that's the thrust behind this. Did everybody review his letter, or did they get Steve's letter? Yeah. All right. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is the Code Enforcement Monthly Report. Fees collected for December, $8,959. Total number of permits, 15. 4 new one- or two-family dwellings. 4 additions, alterations, or repairs to residential buildings. 7 all other permits. 15 COs issued. and 1 stop work order issued.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. It's just swell. Just want to take just a moment to sort of lay out some of the things we're looking forward to this year to accomplishing. I mean, one of the things is addressing the deficiencies in this building as far as, and Dave and I and John and everybody's been talking about, the windows and how we can conserve some more energy, the possibility of getting an elevator and things like that. The other thing about working more closely with the Village of Cold Spring and maybe seeing where we can consolidate some things. We've been talking about it, but I think it's important that we move forward on some of these things. So to that end, I'm going to meet with Ralph Falloon, the mayor of the village, next Thursday and just give him a list of things he can present to his board and that we can talk about, and then get together with the Village of Cold Spring board and say, look, how are we going to take steps to potentially consolidate? Because I feel like if we aren't proactive about this, we're going to suffer ultimately with services, but also the state of New York is really encouraging, if not mandating, that you start to consolidate. And in the state of the state, the governor has definitely pointed in that direction, and you could be looking at problems with your state aid and things like that if you don't take these motions, or just the state coming and telling you you're going to do this. So if we get ahead of it, it'll be our own initiative and not something that's maybe done in a more blunt way, and sometimes those things don't work out so well for us. So, and some of the things that we've talked about is the building departments, the courts. I'd also like to reach out to Nelsonville and see, where they're at with their building department, because, these are the real low-hanging fruit, and we do need to at least look at it. Obviously, our commitment to seniors is there, and we're going to sit down with all the players shortly and have a meeting with the county, Village of Cold Spring, our town board, Mr. and Mrs. Ailes, who have made a generous offer, and just say, how is this all going to work, and how does Butterfield play into this? So I would just like to get a course and say, this is the direction we're headed in. And if that includes meeting with the developer for Butterfield, so be it. But I just want to at least explore the options and, hear what the board has to say, hear what everybody has to say, and get everybody on record as to, what they support, what they don't support. Because there seems to be a lot of confusion out there, and I'd like to clear some of that up. And I think the seniors deserve that, too. Looking at, what else have I been there? Wind turbines. Oh, we do have a temporary moratorium on the wind turbines, so we need to sit down and start working on that. So we need to figure out where we're going to be with not only wind turbines, with alternative energy altogether, and how that. John's wrestling.
Get a new recorder, too.
That is not in the budget. And then, just to see where we're going with alternative energy and what sort of things we're going to encourage and what sort of things, how we're going to regulate these things, and to get clarity on those items. And I imagine there are a whole host of things when we're working on all the regular business we do, but any initiatives from the board, people, feel strongly about, things they want to work on. I know Dave's done a lot with infrastructure for the town, and we had a successful boiler project due in large part to John and Dave, but that, really went well, and that, leads me to believe that we can do a lot of other things. And,
I'm sorry.
take a look for grants and that, opportunities for things that we can do with this building with what we have, because, money's tight and we're not going to see any more.
During their budget process, we had a sincere discussion with the ambulance corps about combining their forces and not consolidating the departments, but at least the manpower, utilizing them town-wide instead of in Garrison or Philipstown. So I'd like to continue that process and not just let it go until, the next budget season when we're talking about it again. But so if you and I will sit down with them, and I think we should sit down with both their presidents or their boards and say, look, where are we going? Where are we heading with this? Because it's getting to the point where it's very expensive. And now we are financing an EMT 24/7 in Garrison, which should give you an ambulance immediately. And then the volunteer staff will support that. But I think if they could pool their manpower, I think it would go a long way. So.
Yeah,
So we'll sit
absolutely.
down with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I mean, I think we've come a long way with emergency services. I mean, I think we have a lot better communication across the board. And, I know personally I have a much better understanding about, the challenges they face and what they're able to provide and, the whole depth of service that we get from volunteers.
There
which
was a
is-
fire in the village of Cold Spring the other night, and it was very challenging because of the weather. It was like 5 degrees, but all the departments worked very well together. We had, including Dutchess County Department, we had Putnam Valley, so there was a lot of coordination and good cooperation as well, so.
That's good. So, I mean, anything the board feels strongly about, anything you want to bring forward, I encourage you to. You guys are really self-motivated. Everybody has projects they're constantly working on. So I'm looking forward to this year, but looking forward to sort of clearing up some of these nagging issues that we've had and, moving ahead with the Dahlia House now that we have the latest sort of stumbling block. But that's it. Anybody have anything they want to add to that? Feel free. Anything from the audience? Yes, sir.
Robert Cutler from Garrison.
Oh, no.
You may remember me as the guy who is cautious about windmills, and especially in the historic area, which is my main concern. I don't mind them anywhere else, but I don't think they should be, as you know, right in the heart of the Highlands. And I wondered during this moratorium period if there's going to be a timetable, or are there going to be goals? Can we provide input to whoever's working on it? I would like to do that if it's possible, but I don't know what your plans are.
Absolutely. We'll have a workshop. We'll advertise the workshop and try to let you know. And since we have your name, we'll obviously make sure that you're informed when we have the workshop.
Terrific.
We're just putting it together, but we want public input, obviously.
Okay.
And if we craft a new law, then we will be,
Yeah.
obviously mandated to have public input. But
Okay.
regardless of that, we're always looking for the public's input.
Okay, and there'll be notices in the PCNR.
Yes.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Do you want
Okay.
to leave your contact info with us as well?
Sure.
Make
Should
sure
I
you get
do?
on-
Should I leave?
Sure, you could.
Yeah.
You have.
Should I just give you business cards?
Sure, that's great.
perfect.
You want two? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else from the audience?
Oh, you're gonna.
I'm Mary Ellen Finger. I'm a planning board member. This summer, I went to a stormwater workshop where there were quite a few other attendees from different towns in Westchester and around, from the planning board, conservation board, tree boards. And I met a woman who was an alternate member of the planning board. It seemed like a really good idea. I brought this up before the planning board, but this would take action by the town board to do some sort of a local law to establish such a position, to have an alternate, so that way this woman attends every meeting in the audience, but when there is not a quorum to vote, she can step in. She knows what's been going on, and she can become a voting member if there are not enough other members. And this is a good way to streamline the process and always make sure that there's enough people to attend every meeting. And I thought, this is a great idea, and I thought I'd bring it up and see if the town board would discuss such an idea. And I'm volunteering my services to act as an alternate member, perhaps on the Conservation Board, so that now that Mike is no longer there to bring a report to the Planning Board, which is always so helpful to find out what they've just discussed. It really makes things go smoothly when we get all of their, learned opinions. It helps us make decisions in the Planning Board and makes it real cohesive. So I'm volunteering for that position, unless if you have so many applicants for the Conservation Board. It would also be a good way for I found that stepping into the Planning Board, I thought I knew the zoning, but there's a lot to learn. And this would be also a very good training for somebody who is interested in serving on a board, for them to get real familiarity, so that then you'd have trained members.
Right, it's a good way to develop a bench, as it were.
Excuse me?
Develop a bench, as it were,
Yes.
people who can step up.
Okay.
Yeah, great. I mean, I think it's a good
wonderful.
idea. So,
Well, we have a vacancy to begin with, and then we would have to appoint
an alternate
an
member,
alternate
right?
as well. Right.
I would run it by the board or chairs and get their thoughts
Sure,
on it.
definitely, yeah. So Andy has vacated the room, but we can discuss it at a workshop and then see what the board thinks, see what the boards think, and go ahead. Or not go ahead.
Yeah, it's clearly valuable to have that. I like being on conservation and planning, and then when I attended some workshops like Mary Ellen did, Kent has someone who's on both and so forth, and then alternates and so forth. Because there were a couple of times when I was running on virtual quorums, things happen, people travel, they have a long distance, and you can't always make it, so that's another plus.
Right, so we can look at it for
Gotta change
all.
the tape.
Yes, Ken?
Okay, we're going to change the tape for a second.
Okay.
So I just want to say, if we do want to go down that road where we have alternates, I've seen it in other municipalities, there would need to be some parameters and some rules. Because what we want to make sure is that we don't have, I know the rec board can be 19 people. I don't know if the other boards can be all that, we need to make sure that the voices that are speaking are the ones that are supposed to be. In general, that would be my
Right. I would
recommendation.
imagine we'd keep the set number of people. This is just in case we,
Right,
at a meeting, you can't get a quorum. And
right.
I mean, you don't want to, I don't know, has that ever happened, Mike?
No, but twice it almost did, and the tough part of it is that the applicant is spending a lot of money for
Right,
engineers,
exactly.
lawyers, and so forth. They're walking in there with a lot of dollars, and now you don't have enough people to listen. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
tough-
certainly
yeah.
something we would not
So,
want to have happen.
yeah.
Just have somebody spend $500 or $600 at a meeting
Yeah.
and not have a quorum.
It's true that though, you would also want those people to show up at every meeting. So, because you'd want them to know what had been discussed in the past. You don't want to be
Yes.
reinventing the wheel every time.
Right.
So there would have to be, an understanding that if you added extra people, they would be there, but they wouldn't necessarily be speaking at every meeting, which is
No,
a
right,
frustrating, I've seen that in other towns, that's a very frustrating position to be in. If you feel like you've been to 10 meetings and, some guy who hasn't been to 10 meetings but is on the official board is the one who's speaking.
Right.
So, it's just something to consider.
I would think
in
that it
making
would
this
have to be
decision.
mandatory that they were at every meeting, because I wouldn't say just have someone be there that's going to vote if they don't have the information.
Right.
Just have a number.
Just going to wing it.
Yeah. So, yeah,
So
I
anyway,
think
it's,
some kinks to
it's
work out.
It's a good idea, but I think it needs to have some structure.
Like, say somebody stepped in at the end of the wind turbine debate. They're just going to shoot from the hip, something like that. I think that could have worked out well. But that's a good point, right? You don't want to frustrate the dedicated members also. Workshops, we have a workshop next Wednesday.
I would recommend canceling that workshop because Andy, who's been a big part of it, can't be there, and I think it would be really valuable to have him there. I would prefer to have
So
the
we'll reschedule that
yeah,
workshop?
reschedule it for the following week.
That's the 22nd.
I don't have a calendar in front of me or anything.
22nd.
The 22nd.
So reschedule comp plan review for the 22nd.
And I did speak to Derek at the Garrison Volunteer Ambulance Corps. If we could schedule a workshop in Garrison at the Ambulance Corps on February 12th at 7:30.
And that's a Wednesday?
That's a Wednesday. We can bring up some of the issues we've discussed tonight. It's just a, informal workshop to go and check out the house and meet their members. It's actually their member meeting, so it works out well.
Everybody
Road trip.
down with that?
Taking it on
Not
the
if it
road.
snows.
We'll need a reminder, right?
Cool. So I'll confirm that with them, and they've already said okay, so I'll let them know.
All right.
And I'm hoping to do that with the other organizations if everybody's open to that at some point throughout the year. Doesn't have to be every month that we go on the road, but I think it's a good idea to do some
Need
of it.
roadies.
Yeah,
Right.
get some road boxes.
All right. When do we want to get together regarding the moratorium and the wind turbines?
Did you discuss it with Joel at all, or? do you
Have
want-
not. I
You
mean,
want me
I
to
could get
reach out to Joel, or do
some
you?
background information. We could meet early in February
Okay.
and get cracking on it. All right, so I'll speak to Joel, Russell, our consultant. And everybody should start pulling together their thoughts about it. And then we'll schedule a meeting for early February. Anything else?
I'd like to plug the North Highlands Fire Department Pizza Night, which will be on January 17th from 4 until they're sold out. You can call 265-9595 anytime after 1 p.m. that day. There will be only takeouts, and the proceeds will go to the Lovell family. The fire department has decided to do that, so. It's great pizza, it's homemade, fresh dough, and they usually sell about 80 or 90 pies, so they go quick. So call early. So the phones open up at 1, and the pizza will be ready at 4, starting at 4, so.
That's 9595.
9595, 265-9595. Friday, January 17th.
Thank you.
You going for that, Dave?
Am I going for what?
The pizza?
Yeah, I'm going to deliver.
Got a good takeout, that's the only takeout that night.
I'm saying that because Davis probably eat more pizza than anybody I know on the planet. Him, maybe John Timmons. They used to have these gold seats at the pizza place. But Dave eats faster than anyone I've ever seen.
That too.
More. Do you want to do that or no? You want me to? Getting information out, authorizing the information,
Information on the information.
get the information on the information. When did we say the comprehensive plan workshop
did,
is?
yeah, but
The next week?
Yeah. I think we're going to wait until we hear back
Okay.
on what, because, every year we do this as a sort of a rote thing, and really don't even look into what we legally have to advertise.
You know what, right now, I'm just concerned with getting information out to the public, so if we could authorize Tina just tonight to submit information regarding legal notices and any press releases regarding town information to editor at PCNR and editor at philipstown.info, and get the information out.
I don't have an issue with that, but I think if we are doing a real legal notice, we're going to have to do we do a resolution to advertise.
Sure.
Right, and we do it at that time, so
And we
I
do it,
understand.
yeah, right, and we would do it at that time,
Okay.
so.
So we can include both sources.
We can.
At the- Or any source, really, any.
True. And I mean, look, the whole world's moving towards electronic, so.
Except for
we're
New York State.
Hopefully, eventually, we can, everybody will have a computer. But again, people do rely on both newspapers, and we intend to continue right along this. But as far as saying we're going to favor one over the other, tonight, we're not doing that. Anything else? Audience, anything else? Okay. Vacancies, Recreation Commission, 1. Continental Village Park District Advisory Committee, 3. Continental Village Water District Advisory Committee, 3. Planning Board, 1. I would like to interview for the Planning Board sooner than later. We do have a letter that we received a while back from Mr. David Hardy, who I know personally and I think is a great guy and I think would be a great candidate. We can interview him and see what the rest of the board thinks. He's expressed interest, I don't know, it was 6 months ago probably at this point, and he's, I believe, still interested. So we get him in. We could also advertise if it comes to that. Conservation Board, 1. Board of Assessment Review, 1. Boy, all these people just came up at once. I don't know where.
You know, I just reach out to the younger parents. A lot of people have a lot of input on the rec programs. People, I like this, I don't like that. This is an opportunity to get involved and directly affect the programs that the Recreation Department does to get on that rec commission. So
Right.
step up, we'll take your name.
We get
Consider.
a lot of turnover there.
We do.
So. Approval of vouchers, general.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Highway.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I vote aye. Unanimous. Continental Village Park District. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I vote aye, unanimous. Conneaut Village Water District.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I vote aye, unanimous. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Terrific. Let's close up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Mike.
I made it through.
Mike.